Hello my friends, Asoka the Geek here, and for this review we're going to take a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label, The Dark Knight Rises, Catwoman, and Batpod. So this set is exclusive to the McFarlane Toys online store, which is where I ordered it from. It just arrived yesterday. Oh, it almost fell. And I think a lot of people are starting to get their orders in. So yeah, let's take a look at Catwoman and the Batpod. So as you can see, I already took it out of the package, so she's out of the package. But let's take a look at the package. There it is, right there. I actually really like the box art on this. It actually has a nice image of, Miss Selena Kyle on the Batpod doing her thing. And I like how that image there is trying to replicate that image there. So that is cool. And I think it's, some good box art there showing different poses of the figure on the Batpod. Shows how you can adjust the goggles. So yeah, I actually do like the packaging. The only thing that struck me about the packaging was that it's a small box. You know what I mean? I was expecting a bigger box. I don't know why I was expecting a bigger box, because it's not a very big vehicle. It's not a Batmobile. But you were just expecting a bigger box. I mean, you can see kind of see how big it is in my hand there. So yeah, it is definitely there. There you go. So now you can see how big the box is. But that's a super nitpick about the box size. I mean, it fit the vehicle nicely, so what am I complaining about? But anyways, I would have liked a bigger box. Well, not really, because that would have just been wasteful. But anyways, enough about the box. Let's get rid of the box. Okay, so before I get into the figure itself, let's kind of take a look at what it comes with. As you can see, the bike, some balancing issues, kind of getting it to balance just right, but once you do, I think it looks great, but we'll get into that in a minute. What does Selena Kyle come with? So first, she comes with a trading card, again, recreating the scene from the movie, which is very nice. To the back of the card, well, that's a big bio. It's like the whole movie. Then she comes with an extra set of hands, like not grabby hands. I don't know, jazz hands? Is that what we can call these guys? There they are, the little jazz hands. So there you go, that's cool. As far as what do I feel about the concept of this, I am a huge Bale Batman fan. The Dark Knight Rises, even Batman Begins, they are some of my favorite Batman movies. Okay, maybe not Batman Begins, but The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, man, I love those movies so much. And I love this vehicle so much. I love the Tumbler. The Tumbler is kind of still, doesn't have a lot of fins or things like that. But man, it is such a beast of a vehicle. And then that the Batpod emerges from the Tumbler in The Dark Knight after the Tumbler gets, kind of severely damaged. It was just such a beautiful scene. That whole scene when the Tumbler comes out of where the Batpod comes out of the Tumbler, it was just so freaking fantastic. The way Batman uses the Tumbler in The Dark Knight, oh, just love it. I'm just picturing the cinematography and the scenes of the Tumbler in The Dark Knight. It was just so well done. And then even in The Dark Knight Rises, I'm just putting Batman next to Selena Kyle while I'm on my tangent here. As in The Dark Knight, just watching Selena Kyle on the Tumbler, it was just fantastic. She was so awesome on the Tumbler. I wish there was a scene of both of them riding off into the sunset together on the Batpod. I said Tumbler a minute ago, but on the Batpod, I think that would have been awesome. But anyways, I love Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. I love how she played her. I love her suit. Again, loved her on the Batpod. So I'm just saying I'm very primed for this particular vehicle, being such a huge fan of those movies, of the vehicle in general. And this vehicle, it's funny because the Robert Pattinson Batmobile, I don't really care for at all, because it doesn't look anything like a Batmobile. And honestly, neither does this thing, right? It doesn't look like any sort of Bat Cycle. There's no fins or anything, but I just dig it so much. So anyways, let me start talking about the actual vehicle. I apologize for the long introduction. So here is the Batpod. Rubber wheels. You do have rubber on the wheels, which is nice. You do see some paint scruffing there, some weathering that they've added, which is nice. There's the silver, of course, around the vehicle. Not much to this, guys. There's no real moving parts. This thing kind of moves a little bit. I don't know. I'm not trying to snap it or anything. It doesn't have a lot of wires. Like, I have the SH Figure Arts Batpod, and there's some wires that should be here, but they don't have them, which I think is for the best, because those were easy to snap, and honestly, I think I like the way they did this. The wires are there, actually. They're just molded into a stronger plastic, so they're just not hanging like on the SH one. But yeah, there's the front of it. These are the only two things I had to attach, these front like guns or whatever these are, and I think they look really nice. So yeah, I think the only issue I have with this, it's not really an issue. I do wish it moved up and down. It doesn't, does it? I don't think so. No, it doesn't move. So it's supposed to be able to, in the movies anyways, it adjusts, right? It's like this, and then it can kind of collapse. And the SH1 does, which is, of course, a higher price point. I think this would have been really cool if it was able to do that. That's my only gripe with this, is that I wish it, was able to collapse up and down. But other than that, I think it's a great looking Batpod. It looks like the Batpod. I think they got really all the main details of the Batpod that I can remember. Nothing glaring here that I missed. I mean, this is definitely my new favorite Bat Cycle from McFarlane, just because I have so much love for the Batpod. And yeah, I think it looks really good. And then let's take a look at Catwoman, and I will show you how Catwoman looks on the Batpod, of course. I'm not just going to not do that. So, but first, let's take a look at Catwoman herself. There she is. There is Selina Kyle. And I gotta say, this looks like Anne Hathaway to me. That looks like her. I think they did a great job on the head sculpt. The suit, look at the suit. Look at the texture. Look at the color. Look at the glossiness. This is just, I just love this. I love this so much that I went ahead and bought the Chase Platinum. It just went up on McFarlane's site yesterday. And I just bought that as well because I love this figure so much, and I want the one that has the different hair and the different headpiece. I just really love what they did with this figure, and just so well done. This is obviously a brand new body buck, I believe, and I think it works. I think it looks like Anne Hathaway. You have some great range of motion here with the articulation. The one thing that bothers me a little bit is the heel on the back, or the heel on her boot there. It's kind of hard to balance it a little bit, so as I'm trying to stand her, that's been a little bit of an issue. You just kind of have to get it just right. But other than that, she kind of looks like Trinity from the Matrix right here in this pose, doesn't she? But yeah, look at this range of motion you have with her. Not much of any ab crunch, but still, she can make some fun, like, backflip motions, as you can see. Yeah. This is just a phenomenal figure. The one thing is the hair is in that sort of, flowing position in the air because she's obviously supposed to be on the Batpod looking up. So that makes sense for this, right? This is a two-pack. She comes with the Batpod, so they designed the hair to be on the Batpod. But that's why I had to get the other figure, because I want a version that's not designed for her to be on the Batpod. It would have been nice if it just came with that head in this, package, but what are you going to do? All right, so there she is. And yeah, I just dig this figure. I love the colors. It just looks great. And to me, that looks like Anne Hathaway. I might be wrong, but I just immediately thought of Anne Hathaway when I looked at this. I think it's one of their best or most accurate head sculpts to an actor, personally. And then the goggles, they do move up and down. So there you go. Oh, so well done. I really feel like going and watching the movie today because it looks phenomenal. All right, let's take a look and see how she looks on the Batpod itself. All right, so there she is on the Batpod. So try my best to get her on there in a nice pose. It's not perfect. You can see her knees don't really go there completely, and then her foot's kind of off there. So it's not perfect. And I do wish the head moved up a little bit more, but honestly, I think it looks fantastic. I'm definitely going to display this like you are seeing here with her on the Batpod. I don't know, or maybe I'll put Batman on it. It's hard to know. And Batman does fit on it as well. But again, it's not perfect, but I think it looks pretty darn good. And there she is on the actual bike. I don't have the Mattel one to compare this to. I do have the SH Figuarts one to compare it to, but that's more of a high-priced item. But I gotta say, I love this Batpod. Talking about the price, let's talk about the price for a minute. This was expensive. I bought this and Skydive Batman here, which we'll do in another, or Sky Jump Batman, which I'll do in a separate review. I think altogether it was like $75 or something like that. I think just this set by itself was like $70. And it's a lot. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think back in the day, this should have been, obviously a $20 figure, maybe a $30 vehicle for what you're getting here. So yeah, I definitely is on the pricier side. Don't really know why this is a McFarlane exclusive. I don't know if retailers didn't want this for some reason, because I would think they could make a lot more having this stocked at Targets and Walmarts and all the other ways they could distribute this. So I'm not sure. Honestly, I have no idea kind of why this is an exclusive. I feel like this would have been great on the shelf at a Target and didn't take up much shelf space, but I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely on the pricier side. Is it worth it? It all depends on how bad you want this. For me, it was, because, as I mentioned, I'm a fanatic for this movie and for this vehicle. I have the Hot Toys one as well, the SH Figuarts version, and now this version. So 3 versions of the Batpod. And I don't know, it just feels like, it's really hard to say, like, as far as, like, are retailers just really not into vehicles anymore, or what the situation is. I wish I knew more about this to speak to it more, and I'm not trying to defend McFarlane on the price for this, but this is expensive. There's no way to argue that. I mean, these vehicles used to go for like $20-$30, and now it's like basically $50 for this vehicle. It hurts, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with the purchase. I love this Batpod. It's going on the shelf, and there it is. I'll be doing more content as always. I'll do some YouTube shorts. I'll do another YouTube short showing Batman on the Batpod. I have to get the right hands for him to do that. But anyways, there she is. There's Catwoman on the Batpod. I think it looks great. I think this turned out really well. Love the Catwoman figure. I like the Batpod vehicle quite a bit as well. I think it turned out nicely. And there you go. Let me know if there's anything I missed. I'm sure there is. More than happy to do additional content to talk about whatever I missed in a YouTube short or another video. And that's about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you pick this up? What are your thoughts? Always love to hear from you guys. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And have a great day.